You mean we're smoking dog shit, man? I didn't survive like you was idiots living it's hard. All you really care about is being what you rich.
I like to think that the terminology throughout this whole entire vlog series has been the greatest thing since sliced bread. All the way from Declaration of War up to now, which is now, we're at the 99th episode as of now. So since 2019, some of them have been memorable, some of them have been half memorable, and then some of them have been rememberable for the way it is. Declaration of War was the first. Declaration of War was my first video ever on Dysfunct Productions and on Man Monster Miscreation. It is the very first episode. And to this day, it is almost the most memorable episode. Granted, take for granted that that video was not good. Like, I remember when I made Declaration of War, and I had footage for Declaration of War, and it was perfect. And the moment I wanted to make Declaration of War, the moment I wanted to make Man Monster Miscreation, the footage was deleted. And I was so pissed at myself for the way Declaration of War came out, because Declaration of War was half-assed. The footage was half-assed because I lost my footage, and it doesn't compare to the footage that was lost. It really doesn't compare to the footage that was lost for Declaration of War. And that brings us to the next two episodes, I'm So Careless and Corrosion Out, New Roots. Those two videos weren't even planned to be episodes of Man Monster Miscreation, and I made them work. Granted, they may have been in portrait style. I didn't even know what I was doing back then, so those videos in particular were kind of like tryouts for Man Monster Miscreation, like auditions, I guess you could call them. And I was trying to like mix things up to see what the attitude and the ego could be like for Man Monster Miscreation. Like I said, that was just the beginning. And I was just trying out a bunch of things, and the black and white filter wasn't even a good thing at the time. I thought the black and white filter was like this good old detail to the videos that would make it stand out more to the rest of the vlog series. And then I started using it all from 2019 up to 2020, and then up to now we were finally getting into color videos. I don't know why, but I guess because it was supposed to be as real as it gets this year, and even though it didn't really go as real as it got, it didn't really get there, but it was something, and it was a change. I think the one term that stands out from the rest is, do I have your attention now? The fourth episode, like, that one had to be, that was built from a WWE promo, and I actually took that and I actually made it a saying for Man Monster Miscreation. Do I have your attention now? It was from WrestleMania 35, one of those promos, and it actually kind of clicked. It kind of just went with the flow, and then I started using it some more, and people started, liking that. No Trust. The fifth episode, No Trust, that had to be, oh my god. It was that one cut. That one cut that made everything for that episode. And that was when I used the survival guide, Janelle Tracy's survival guide bullshit for the talent show. I remember what it was, but it was just bullshit. And I knew there is no way you can survive Powered Area High School. Even when the generations grow, you still can't survive Powered Area High School. Let's just be honest, right here, right now. You just cannot survive Poverty Area High School for the way it is and the way the kids are grown up. Let's just cut to the chase that there's just no surviving Poverty Area High School. Newsflash, it just gets worse from here, okay? Our generation stands out from the rest, okay? Our generation, my situation makes it look like it was written in crayon. But I think that episode in particular kind of set the spotlight for My Monster Miscreation, because people were picking at that little spot where I cut from me to the survival guide back to me, and I said there is absolutely no way of surviving Poverty Area High School. For some reason, people seem to like that. Picking at that one cut. Even when it wasn't planned, everyone was still picking at that one cut. And I don't think there was really any more memorable moments in 2019, but I think 2020 Season 2 had the most memorable terminologies in them. especially around that time where it was the forgotten channel that we may not have to speak about. If you're a Markiplier fan or a Cranks Gameplays fan, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, what happened last year, and how I kind of got influenced into that with how many days until this video comes out, and this you have how many days until this gets deleted or something. Like, 2020 was such a grass bottom, but it still had that same theme and same terms as we were using of 2019. It still had a grasp. It still had that creativity and that ego and that attitude. It still had all those personalities put into place of one season. And I wanted to put in one of those personalities. You know which one. I wanted to put one of those personalities into this year, but as time rolled on this year, you could obviously tell that we didn't. I need to have the time for it, but I really don't have the time for it. I really don't. And like, so I'm trying to get as much done as I can, and hopefully next year, I'm thinking hopefully next year we'll put that personality right into season 4. So I'm hoping on that. The one thing that I hated about all those episodes of Man Monster Miscreation was a social experiment. Now, I would like to speak about my behalf on requesting Social Experiment Part 1 and 2, and I'll throw it along with it. I shorten it to Jack Shit, but it's Family Jack Shit Genetics, episode 9. Those 3 episodes were the worst episodes I've ever created, and you have to forgive me, because those episodes, I didn't, like I said, I don't know what I'm doing back in 2019. It was just the beginning, and I was just trying to make things work. And when it came down to Social Experiment Part 1 and 2, I followed by those guidelines on my own in the outside of Man Monster Miscreation. I try to work by those guidelines. Like, if someone sends me if I send a friend request to somebody and they just decline it or reject it, and I find out about it, I'll just fucking block them until fucking forever. I wasn't really following the Social Experiment rules because they never made really much sense. And it was just like, why should I have to do this in the outside world? Why do other people have to do this in the outside world? It's just, it doesn't make any sense. It's not like I order people to do that in the outside world because, to be a fan of Dysfunct, you have to do this. Honest to God, I didn't even know really what guidelines I should really use as if you were doing your own social experiment like I was. And I kind of watch back on the Social Experiment and I kind of get used to it, but it just didn't make any much sense. Same thing for Family Jack Shit Genetics, and there's a reason why I throw that episode in with Social Experiment, because Jack Shit, it doesn't involve anything except for a little piece, because I was trying to get along with my cousin at the time on Facebook, and he just, I don't know why, he just kind of distanced himself from me. I don't know why. And that was only why that video was there. It was only for that little piece. And then it came rambling on into 50 minutes of just absolute boringness and upcoming events, and plus Dysfunct Gaming, which is not scrapped. Dysfunct Gaming, by any means, it's not scrapped. I'm just trying to build some sort of platform to do Dysfunct Gaming. I think it would be a great idea to expand the Dysfunct brand into Dysfunct Gaming. I seriously consider that, and I'm trying to, throughout since 2020 up to now, I've been trying to build myself up into a Dysfunct Gaming part of the channel. But I'm slowly getting there. You gotta give me time.
And I think the biggest term that has ever been thrown around within this whole entire channel is, not to mention, the season premiere date.
It's always the 12th of January. And if anybody had... and in case if anybody didn't know why I always choose the 12th of January as the season premiere, well, let me explain to you. January 12th, 2019 is the day my dad died. My dad passed away from stage 4 liver and colon cancer. And I've always chose the 12th because, it's the day my dad died. And it's, I feel like it would be memorable to always have an episode premiere on the day he died every year, once a year. And I know I didn't do it in 2019 because back then it wasn't really an idea. The only reason how this came an idea is when Korn released their 13th album, The Nothing, because that was the absolute influence of me trying to get over my dad passing away, and all these the situation with Clayton and the boys and everything else. Like, that album in particular helped me influence Man Monster Miscreation, and it helped me build my mind into that mindset where I can actually make something creative and make something special. And every year I always chose January 12th as the season premiere date because of my dad, and it's always been about my dad every time I upload a season premiere on the 12th, and I never miss it. And I'm hoping that I don't miss it this year because of how much bullshit that we've been through. So I'm hoping to God that I can actually get my episode done on the date of the 12th, and I'm very picky about that because it's the day that my dad died, you know, and I just wanted to make sure that the premiere is always on the 12th. So if any part of my life, if I don't get a season premiere out on the 12th, you guys, the subscribers, are gonna hit that like button, and every like is gonna be a bitch slap to the face. And you can hate me all you want because I didn't get it done on the 12th. Okay, so I'm hoping I don't do this year. I hope I don't get how many bitch slaps to the face because of this. But I just hope to God that I can get it on the January 12th, 2022 next year. After all the drama, after all this, after everything that we've been through this year, you're gonna find out why next year, and you're gonna find out just how much drama and how much bullshit can create one season at a time. All you just needed was a little bit of a push, all you needed was a little bit of oomph in your system, and all you had to do was fuck your life up once, and all you had to do is just follow that fuck up and just keep writing down ideas for the next season. Like, everything I'd done this year, you know, it was just the soft stuff. It's just the you know, the dirt that's on my shoulder. You know, whatever I've been through this year, I ain't gonna. The retarder was the idea this year, and I wish that I got it done months ago, and I wish that it existed months ago, and I wish I built that idea months ago, but I didn't. I never had a chance to. The retarder was the ultimate test this year. And the retarder had to be the biggest barricade that we've been through this year. Because the retarder's just hanging above my head for the last 11 months, just dangling around my head. It's that idea, and I don't know which way to go around it. I don't know which direction. And then came the concept because we were going into the 100th episode as of now, because this is the 99th episode, and I'm proud of the progress that we've made for the last 3 years, and now we get to go on to 4 years, and it's just like, it's amazing. And I get to push myself even more because this is going to be more of a challenge than ever. Just keeping that number high and keeping it strong, keeping the pride in it, and keeping the terminology fresh, strong like bull. This year may not have been the greatest, and this year didn't have to be the greatest, and this year proved that I could do interludes. I could do music, and I could prove to you what I could do with music so far, and as far as like in movie making, but not like music, but I'm getting to that point too, because I'm slowly learning music. If it was in this, the interludes are the last things I gotta talk about in the whole terminology of Man Monster Miscreation. The interludes I'm actually figuring out through a movie maker, taking MIDI files and putting them all together as one, and da. Well, I know that won't help me in the music industry, so I'm trying to teach myself through here, and then teaching myself in a studio. And I have a theory of trying to make music, because I've been trying to make music for like years. I've been trying to get in the music industry for years. And no musician likes to hear that constantly, because I know, if you're gonna go into the music industry, just do it. And you have to do it, and you just have to go with it. But it's just kind of hard when you just don't know half the tools that you need, even when you want to have everything at your disposal. It just doesn't balance itself out, and then it just kind of confuses me, and then it just kind of goes fairly unbalanced, and then I just kind of give up on music, and then I. This is how I got onto YouTube, basically, because I had like 6 music projects written and everything. Most of the terms about Man Monster Miscreation have been made through songwriting as well, and that's like Dead in the Guilt. Dead in the Guilt was a song that I wrote for my 16 to 9 project. It was a metalcore project, and I wanted to keep that idea, so I was like, how am I gonna remember this song for 16 to 9? And I thought, well, why don't we just make it an episode name, and while history keeps going, why don't we still remember the fact that that was a song for 16 to 9? It was a metalcore song. And apart from that, like mostly like the dialogue and stuff, I'm a Ministry fan, as you can tell by all my dialogue and stuff. So it's kind of hard to explain when you're trying to describe it with your music skills and your movie skills at the same time, and especially when you're trying to use both of those things together as one. It kind of confuses you, and that's just my opinion. I would love to get into the music business. I'm just kind of confused in my brain how the music works on the studio yet, and this is why I pretty much use that towards Man Monster Miscreation. I want to use the tools that I already know and the arsenal that I already have. I wanted to put it into the Man Monster Miscreation, and those are how those interludes came about. And you're gonna get more of those. I'm definitely gonna make more of those, and I'm gonna see if I can make longer ones like LGBT TV Plus. I want to definitely do something like that again. But I really think that's all. So this is the 99th episode of Man Monster Miscreation, and it's a reason why Man Monster Miscreation exists. The terminology, it's rememberable. That's why it exists. Because it's the things I've said throughout the 3 years of Man Monster Miscreation that keeps it into your brain and helps you and makes you wonder. It helps you and it makes you wonder. And there could be so many reasons why Man Monster Miscreation exists. And as per every other video of why Man Monster Miscreation exists, like, they're only small bit reasons. I could go days of why this exists. I could go months of giving you reasons why Man Monster Miscreation exists. I have a book. I have a book longer than my terminologies for the Man Monster Miscreation series. Like, it's just... But for this to be the 99th episode, it kind of symbolizes the fact that the terminology of Man Monster Miscreation is still strong, and I still have pride into this channel, and I'm still willing to move forward with this channel for whatever is on this channel, and I'm willing to die with the fact that I died trying on YouTube with Man Monster Miscreation, with all the views and the subs and everything else on this channel. I am willing to die with it. The terminology, no matter what happens to me, the terminology of Man Monster Miscreation always stays strong. The Gospel of the Devil. M. Devil, Dysfunct out. Happy 99. I'll see you guys later. Oh wait, stop. One more thing before I go. If you have any questions about Man Monster Miscreation and you want to ask me, like, the terminology, if there is any terminology, to any video of Man Monster Miscreation, ask your question down below in the comment box. I will be more than welcome to answer your questions about any episode of Man Monster Miscreation, considering now that there are 99 terms within Man Monster Miscreation. If you would like to know about any episode at all, leave your comments down below in the comment box. Also, before you go, do not forget to like this video, and do not forget to hit the subscribe button on your way out. Okay, I got it perfectly this time. Thank you, and M. Devil, Dysfunct out. I gotta go. Goodbye. Oh, God.